We're not even live. I thought you said we got to go live, Ollie.
No, we're not.
Wait a minute.
We're now live. We're now live.
Oh, we're live.
Good morning. It's the 26th of December, 2025, 6 a.m. I'm from Central Florida. Dr. Nelson here. Please put in the chat where you're watching from.
We can't see you, Dr. Nelson.
Oh, that's because my camera was covered. Okay. So put in the chat where you're coming from. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat as well. And hashtag KMT for a chance to win a t-shirt.
That's right.
Okay.
And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And Kiltz is from Sarasota today, and but he'll be traveling again tomorrow. And welcome, Tony Vargas.
Hello, guys. Thank you. Good morning. Happy Merry Christmas, I guess. It just passed, and
Yeah. So, Tony, go ahead and tell us. I was trying to get a little bit of a background before we came live.
Gotcha.
That's why I had asked. But go ahead and tell us your carnivore story and any health benefits you've gotten, please.
Well, health benefits, real quick. I just turned 38 on the 24th, a couple of days ago, and it's the best. It's the oldest I've ever felt that I've ever been, and the best I've ever felt. And this is amazing. I was like, to this point, it's a long story to get to this point, but I grew up in Mexico. I was born and raised in Mexico for the first 4 years of my life, and then after that, my family kept traveling back and forth from the U.S. to Mexico, just kind of trying to. I guess my parents were trying to figure out what they were going to do with their lives, and we were all trying to do the same thing, right? And I was just riding along. Yeah. But I was always that kid that questioned everything. I was always a troublemaker in my family, in the classroom. If there was a group of bad kids, I would come in and I would make that group of bad kids even worse. That's what my dad said. But in 5th grade was the first time that I kind of start really pushing back in authority with teachers and actually, why am I sitting here listening to you, right? What is the benefit of this and how far can I take it? Well, in 5th grade was the first time that I did that. And 5th grade was the first time I got kicked out of school. And it just kind of went like that every year until freshman and high school. So back and forth every 2 years between Mexico and the US. When I got here the last time I was in freshman year of high school. Of course, I knew English and Spanish, but I was really stuck in the middle because I go over there. This is how you learn Spanish. I come here. This is how you learn English. So being in trouble was just my comfort zone, right? I'm just going to do something else that is not paying attention, because then I'm going to feel like I don't fit in, right? With that being said, I really didn't like schoolwork, and I just didn't care to do it. And so they pulled me into, my counselor pulled me in and kind of made me feel like I needed special classes, which is fine. I mean, some people need them, right? And with my strong-willed child that I am, I went from having straight Fs to having straight A's, 1B, almost straight A's, from one semester to the next. And that's just focusing, paying attention, actually sitting down and, hey, let me figure this out. Let me be interested. I have to be interested in this. My interest was to prove them wrong, not so much the subjects, right? So I proved my point, and I dropped out of high school with almost straight A's. They looked at me like, what are you doing? You just got your stuff together right now. I'm like, I don't like it. It's not that I don't get it, it's I just don't like it. I took some college courses before my class even graduated, decided that was not for me because it was the same thing in high school. So I was stuck in this world where I'm an immigrant. I need to do something with my life. My parents just sacrificed everything to come over here because I asked them when I was a teen that was going to make me come down how bad I was if we moved back to the US, right? Which was a lie. That did not happen. One day I'm working in a warehouse, just stuck, feeling like my life is just sucking, and I'm on break and I see a fire truck drive by. I'm like, that looks pretty cool. I wonder how you do that. So right after work, I just went and knocked on the door in the fire department. I was like, how do you become a firefighter? I was about 17, 18 years old at that time. They brought me in. It was around dinner time. They brought me in and they explained everything to me. About 8 months later, I already had my EMT license and was working as a cadet in the fire department. This is just by knocking on doors on who's hiring, how do you do this? I want to do something, right? Best career I've had in my entire life. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I never did it full time. It was always either volunteer or part-time until I broke my knee. And it's the easiest way to say it. I tore my ligaments, ACL, PCL, MCL, detached my hamstring, nicked my artery. I had drop foot, broke my tibia and my fib. So that kind of put a halt to that career, and I ended up in the ER. And oh my gosh, was that one of the best places, natural places for me? Chaos, survival, reading people, meeting people, always something different, but kind of like with structure. So you always got to do AUs and pregnancy tests and fill the forms. You always got to do the same thing, right? But it's always with different people, and you always get to touch someone else. It's not my emergency, it's their emergency. So my coworkers making fun of them or whatever, or talking behind whatever, did not vibe with that. So always really, really focused on what I was doing. Sorry, I can talk a lot, like Dr. Kiltz.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
It's all right.
Keep talking. Keep talking. So tell us what your day job is and what that's like.
All right. So I'm a personal trainer. I'm a health coach. I coach at 2 different gyms locally, which I was never into fitness. I grew up overweight. Same thing with the fire department. A few years ago, I got into 2019 is when I started eating better. Okay. Eating better. And fitness got into my life maybe 4 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Same thing, did not know how to work out. I applied at maybe like 8 different gyms. I knocked on doors. Let me be a trainer because I'm not good at signing up for the gym and paying that monthly fee and being accountable to myself to go. I did that for years and wasted thousands of dollars. So now I want to get paid to learn how to work out so then I can teach people how to do that. So I do that at 2 gyms, and then I do my nutrition coaching online like this with my clients, and I also do one-on-ones nutrition. And the one-on-ones in my nutrition side is more like therapy than nutrition coaching. And I hate calling nutrition coaching. I don't know what to call it because it's addiction management, it's emotional growth, it's awareness levels, is all kinds of things. It's not just about the food, you know?
And tell us about being part of the community in carnivore. How has that inspired you or changed your life, improved your life?
It's well, it all started because of my wife. So when we moved up here about 7 years ago, it's about an hour north of Chicago. It's called Fox Lake. We were eating the standard American diet. I was working in the ER, drinking about 3 Red Bulls a shift. And when we moved up here, we wanted to eat a little bit healthier. So I wanted to grow my own veggies and learn how to do all that, right? So the healthy way, the oats, the smoothies, veggie-based diet, which my wife had adopted, and she had terrible health issues. She was scared of food. She had this, what I call, black hole in her belly that would just suck all her energy out when she would have episodes, and she was terrified of eating. So again, same thing that with the firefighting, same thing with the working out. I went around knocking on farms, asking them how they grow food, making sure they were clean. It was clean food. It was organic food. They were having the good practices. And on my days off from the ER, I started farming for free, and I would take veggies or eggs or honey in exchange for the work that I would do for the farmers. Sorry, my dog just walked in.
We like dogs. Best friends, right?
So we after that, well, I was getting so many veggies from these farmers that I started a food stand in the parking lot in the ER on the weekends that I had off, because I was getting so many veggies. My wife and I were just chopping them, eating them, freezing them, and getting fatter and getting sicker and getting in worse shape, and just mental health was not there for us, and we're very confused on what was going on. Then I found Dr. Kimberly with a proper human diet, and Mark Session with the Primal Blueprint. Once I found those two guys, oh my gosh, I started doing proper human diet, and I immediately felt my emotions, my everything just come down, my blood. It was a matter of, I want to say, 3 weeks for me to see the difference. It still took about another 6 months for my wife to actually get on board. Then I found Dr. Kiltz, I found Dr. Chafee, I found carnivore, and I was like, what is this? We're scared of the fat. What's going on? Completely 100% opposite of what I knew, right? What I knew from like the medical field. So yeah, it was weird. So I tried it for 3 months, 100% carnivore, and amazing benefits, amazing benefits. The only thing I did not like about carnivore is that I felt tiny. I got too lean from being overweight my entire life. Now I felt like I was tiny, from 220 pounds to 150 pounds. And now that's when the whole working out more serious came in to
How tall are you?
How tall?
Yeah.
5'8", 5'9".
Okay.
So I can only go this way, doctor. I can't go. So 220, I was very wide.
What is the optimal weight for a human being?
Wherever you land, whatever. I don't think there's an optimal weight, right? It's wherever you land, and it's however you feel. I think, and there's your natural weight, and if you don't feel, for example, when I felt too small, that might have been my natural weight, but now I don't want to feel that way. So now you have to do something different to not feel that way, which is okay, right? But you have to be aware of those things, right?
Yeah, are we maybe improperly driven by some standard that isn't true anyway, right? It's sort of, we are what we are. I mean, what other animal says, you don't look so good, you got to change? This just be you, right? That's kind of what you're saying. It's like we do sort of have this idea we need to do or do something else, but it doesn't matter. Even if you're 220 pounds, you feel great. I mean, the carnivore diet, even if you don't lose weight, it still makes you feel better than ever. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%, 100%. And it's one of the things that I try to teach my clients, because I stalled so many times, or whatever it was. I went through my journey, and it's not about the weight loss. It's about your habits, about the relationship that you have with the food. The sugar is not the problem. The carbs are not the problem. It's what kind of relationship do you have with that thing, and what kind of awareness and self-control do you have with that kind of food. And if you don't, then you do need to put some things in place, right?
We've been marketed to sort of illogical and a negative way of looking at food in our bodies. That's sort of the marketing. You got to change, you got to change, you got to change, rather than I am perfect already and I'm enjoying life the way I am. And yet we're seeing, the chaos of the emergency room, right? Or the things that happen to you. And it's, the leading cause of bankruptcy is medical debt. And we're not making strides and improvements in this world. Tell us a little bit about your health coaching and how that has sort of helped inspire others and yourself to find a new and stay on this new journey, despite the opposites of the medical community.
One of the things that I like about the health coaching, or the stuff that I went through, is that all my clients go from teenagers. I'm coaching kids on Monday nights and at the gym, and then nutrition after that. They're 11, 12-year-olds. One of my favorite group of clients that I have, it's my sandwich generation. So my 65 and older, 65 to 75, and right there, my sandwich generation right there. It's one of the things that I love connecting with people, meeting them where they are, right? And that's one of the things that I learned growing up. I don't feel like I'm 38. I feel like I'm 98 sometimes, because I can connect with pretty much anyone based on. I gotta thank the ER, even though I didn't like a lot of things about it. I do gotta thank the ER for all the experiences that it gave me. So when it comes to nutrition coaching, it's nice to be able to meet someone going through menopause and I can't really relate, but I can explain things in an emotional way that they're gonna understand it. Where I can meet with this 47-year-old male that just needs carnivore, 100%, let's leave everything out. So wherever you are, and I think that's one of the fun things that I love about the nutrition coaching. I can insert myself with that kind of any kind of population, and I find it so fun educating people where they are, whether it is I'm a diabetic or I just want to lose weight, whatever belief they have from the medical Western world.
Supermarketing and supermarkets to super messed up and unhealthy. The authorities truly care about our money in their hands and not our mastery. I think that's what this Lions Carnivore Way is in the individual life health coaching, which is such a masterful thing that have you been to a standard doctor lately?
To a standard doctor? No. No, the last time I went to a doctor's office, well, when I left the ER, I did it in a way where I couldn't go back anymore. Again, it's my strong-willed child coming out, so I fired the ER for my life. That's how I put it to my boss. They did not align with my beliefs, and they were not performing to my expectations anymore, because that's when I found out that we're really not helping someone that comes in with the blood sugar of 800, and we're helping them in the moment. Yes, we are. Yes. ER is amazing for that. Broken bones and in the moment emergency things. We are helping with that. But this person needed help 5, 10, 20 years ago. This person with the blood pressure 220 over 90 needed help years ago. And I did my role there, and I had a blast helping people in their emergencies. But now with the health coaching, I even having more fun helping them prevent getting to that stage. It hurt a lot to see people of all kinds of ages with strokes, with heart attacks. An 18-year-old with heart attack. Are you kidding me? Like, it's crazy, and I'm getting the chills just thinking about like things that I saw there.
Yeah, I call it combat medicine. I mean, most hospitals and most medicine is sort of combat medicine for urgent or emergent, but we have the opportunity to teach us. You know, when we're in school. By the way, I was kicked out of school, and I was in college courses in high school, and I too found that the system was really kind of crazy. Although it's kind of part of the system, is to buck the system. That's kind of the nature of the beast, but eventually you find a way not to fight but to foster a connection and bringing things together. How do we change the standard message in the hospitals and in medical systems in general, or in the marketing out there? Any thoughts and ideas how we can better approach that?
I think you guys were hitting on this. I think I think Western medicine is not going to change. I think the roles that outside of that is what needs to change. Putting things in place outside of that system needs to change. That system is not going to go anywhere anytime soon, I don't think. And if you choose to live in that system, it's okay. Just like you said, you may not know any better. I didn't know any better. You always question authority, and like you said, you got to play the system if you want to be in the system.
How do we help other people who are looking for help outside the system?
How do we help other people? Besides leading by example, I mean, trying to like share the story, share the lead by example. Again,
that's where I wanted to go. You have to share, definitely.
Well, I'm in the system, and I can tell you there are ways to affect the system, because in essence we have to keep sharing the story and writing the stories and speaking the words that you're doing to help. And I'm sure, I know we've touched doctors and firemen and all sorts of people that are in the system to change. And carnivore lifestyle is probably, and keto carnivore, we have to throw both of those in. You know, there's some people that haven't quite come all the way over to the carnivore lifestyle. Tia spent all day making lasagna yesterday. And I was doing all my other stuff and doing all sorts of things. And then I threw on my steak, and I was gracious to have a piece of lasagna. She cut me a piece this big, and I had a piece this big, and you know, it took about 2 seconds to prepare my steak, and about 5 hours to prepare lasagna, homemade. It was beautiful, and you know, sort of. I mean, I'm Italian. I grew up with that, and boy, the simplicity. Tell us a little bit about the simplicity of your life now that you're in the carnivore lifestyle. It's like, whoa.
It's amazing. It's I remember my wife when she used to spend hours chopping veggies in I was the cleanup guy, right? Because she was the chef. So hours chopping veggies, hours cleaning up. Now it takes 8 minutes to cook my steak, and that's it. However, I do tell people I am 90% carnivore, 10% pastry, because she has been a pastry chef for 12 years. So that's one of the things that we have to battle with, especially me. I know I have a sugar addiction. So when I have things in the house, you need to control, you need to manage those things or not have them in the house. Oh my gosh.
Not have them in the house. Yep.
That looks delicious.
That was a Christmas meal for me. And I did offer her some, but she didn't have any last night. But yeah, it is. It's now, all right. So there's sugar in meat. There's sugar in plants. There's less sugar and less toxins. I don't know. What toxins are in ribeye steak, Dr. Nelson?
Still looking for it.
There's a problem.
I'll try again today.
Yeah. I mean, where do you put fasting and meal frequency and things like that?
Fasting, I think that has to be something you do consciously, not just not eat for like 12 or 18 or 24 hours. I think that's just not eating. I do 1 or 2 meals a day. Depends how I feel. I can do 1 every 36 hours. After that, I may start calling it fasting after 36 hours, at least for myself, because then I actually got a plan to, okay, I got a mental prepare for that a little bit more than, okay, I'm just going to skip this meal. I'm good. Okay. The longest I've gone is about 70 hours of not eating, but I usually just have 1 meal or 2 a day. Depends if I work out, I'll have somewhere between, I don't know, 1 pound to 3.5 pounds a day, whatever it is, depending on the day.
And how long on the carnivore diet?
2 years that I call myself 90% carnivore. Before that, it was 3 months strict carnivore. That's the only time that I actually been strict 100%. Left the coffee, everything, quit everything. I can take or leave coffee just like you. It's delicious, but I don't like how much I cramp. I don't like how much water I gotta drink. I don't like how like cramp, like it makes me feel this way, but it makes me feel this way when I drink it.
And what was some other questions there, Alia? Do you want to hit those?
We have one more question. Let's see. What nutrition course have you done?
I took the Primal Blueprint. That's the only coaching course that I took, and honestly, it was only to make sure that to feel confident coaching other people. The material and everything. I mean, my wife was making fun of me how fast I went through the material based on reading books, the medical field, podcasts, reading between everything. It just made sense to me. I just needed that confidence on how to deliver it to people, and I mean, it was there. I love taking it. I would recommend anyone to take any kind of course that they want, because it's gonna fill in those little gaps that you just not sure about.
Awesome. Consciously not eating since December 2nd. Go, Jerry. On January 12th, we're going to hear all about that. I think it's January 12th. We got all the questions.
Why do we get fat?
Why do we get fat?
To fast.
We get fat too fast?
Yeah.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, getting fat is natural and normal. It's not abnormal. It's instinctual. You don't get fat. You can't walk from wherever you are in this world to somewhere else in the world. You don't carry a satchel of food most of the time. You just walk in. And
right.
The only food and fuel for the actual cell is actually your fat. You do not use the food you eat unless you eat adipose tissue. But the cells utilize the fatty acids as our energy, not glucose. And not eating is like most magical thing you can do. And have you done any prolonged fasting more than a day?
Have I done more than 70 hours is the longest I've done. And that's one of the things that I try to explain to my clients. But again, I know it's deeper than how I'm about to explain it. But when I tell my clients that fat is your fuel, you only have 3 sources of fuel, which is sugar, carbs, and fat. It's the same thing, sugar and carbs. I know it's the same thing, but explaining it to people, it's a little bit simpler. And it's like you said, when I tell them if you don't eat, you're going to tap into your fat right here, into your fat right here, into your fat around your organs. And that's what's going to give you the fuel to keep going. And again, it's walking people through that, because even myself, like not skipping a meal at the beginning, it sounded really scary. And when I talk to most people, it sounds extremely scary for them. And now I don't understand it, because that's not my role anymore. That's not how I live. So it's walking them through that. Okay, we're going to prepare to skip tomorrow's breakfast. Okay, so, and being there for them, and however much, support they need. And again, leading by example, like Dr. Nelson said. And one of the things that you mentioned is that I do regret, and I don't think I've said this out loud, my wife's probably going to make fun of me, I do regret leaving the medical field, because you're right, Dr. Kiltz, you are able to make a difference inside the system. I was not mature enough back then to realize that. And Michelle Hun, the dietitian's dilemma, oh my gosh, after I read that, I was like, oh, I need to go back. I'm going to put myself back in, and I don't think I actually will. I'm now on Dr. Ken Berry, moving to Tennessee, buying land kind of path with my wife now. But I wish I would have done something like that, become a dietitian, and then hit it from the inside. That would have been really, really fun.
We're not dead yet.
True.
Not dead yet. And age is just a number. It has nothing to do with what you're going to do tomorrow. And that's the sort of, we have these phrases in life, it's too late. But it's just time today. And that's so, but again, there's so many different ways to affect the world and get out there and share and improve everyone's life in exactly what you're talking about.
If you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And Dr. Kiltz, this is kind of off topic. But found your
we did Dr. Nelson's yesterday.
Shaking up the scene, tearing through the jungle of the salad greens with a ribeye.
Look at me.
Shaking up the scene, tearing through the jungle of the salad greens with a ribeye rhythm and a rock hard soul. He's a meat-made legend on a vegetable roll. With a primal scream, a butcher born warrior from a carnivore dream. Broccoli trembles, spinach tries to hide, but nothing stands a chance when he's turning on the stride. Turn up the amps, let the sizzling roar. He's the king of the kitchen, and he's ready for war. Roots get wrecked, leaves fall down. He's a leading heart of this old rock town. He's a plant punisher, baby, ripping up the green, shredding every veggie like a rock machine, with bacon, smoke, thunder, and a flame-lit soul. He's a carnivore champion on vegetable patrol.
Whoa.
I love that.
Tearing through the jungle.
All right. Oh.
I
Who
love
put
it. I
that
love it.
together?
What was that?
Who put that together?
Amy. right?
That's thank you for to Amy. What's her? It said it right there. Her YouTube name is Keto Rockstars. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Peter. Papa Carnivore. And I do love a piece of really good sourdough or croissant with a lot of butter in small amounts from time to time.
Speaking of butter, I used to give my wife and her family, before we started this, a lot of pushback when I would see them. They would just put butter on everything, like on every single meal they would have, just like, and now they make fun of me. It's like, oh, what do you think about butter now, sir? It's like, yeah. So yeah, I gotta be ready for that. But anyway, guys, where I'm going with all this is that life is I don't know. I think life's, you just gotta live it. It's like a video game. You just gotta put on your character that you're gonna do for today and be for today and live it. Have fun with it. Question everything that you just feel a little bit off about it, and be okay with your reality being broken down, because that is how you're gonna be able to understand other people. That happened to me twice. Happened to me in 2019, right before 2020 hit. Knowing what the reality was of everything, and my beliefs just got destroyed, and it was weird. It was weird, which pushed me into this whole life change, right? Getting out of there, right? And then the other one was like, I'm very healthy. I'm vegetarian is the way to go. I know meat is bad, but no, it was the opposite of that. So those two moments in my life really, I mean, really stick out in the last few years. But where I'm going with that, like I said, it's being okay, separating your, how do I say, your brain. I feel like it's the connection between your body and your conscious, and you just have to put some work into that. And once you put work into that, you're gonna see that this world, it's really, really, really fun. It's really, really fun. You can do whatever you want.
That's the beauty of it. There's a lot of possibilities, not just one way. There's infinite ways. And that's what we're really building. And we're inviting all of our brothers who are plant eaters or just strictly meat eaters or both. This is where I think adding fat, fasting, and faith are actually the most important things of this nutritional direction. And some plants, properly processed to minimize, eliminate the toxins or the fermentation, with added animal fat. Fat comes from animals, oils come from plants, is absolutely the the way to look at this and join in, because we're not here. Again, I'm not here to say you shouldn't ever eat plants and it's the most toxic things. But I think that we've been misinformed of the truth of human body physiology, biochemistry, metabolism is mostly wrong, because you cannot burn sugars. You must convert them in the liver to fat or you die. Simple as that. We burn acetyl-CoA from fatty acids, not from glucose.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes with what Dr. Nelson said with like leading by example. When I talk to my clients, and I don't tell them I'm 100% carnivore, that I don't eat these things. I'm married to a pastry chef. It's hard to not eat those things when they're in front of you. And again, it's the kind of relationship that you have with those foods, right? And if I was diabetic, or if I was in a situation where I can't have it as often as I have it right now, well, then I have to do something about it, put something in place, or whatever it is, completely get rid of it, or have a doctor or a health coach give me a hand transition off of this. I think it's just addiction. It's whatever addiction it is. It's where is your addiction, and modifying your habits in order to get healthier, because I found out that there's a lot of addiction personalities with addiction relationships with all these foods. And it doesn't matter if you put alcohol, if you put sugar, if you put candy in front of that word, it's the same behavior with people. And that's kind of why I have a 12-week program, because I went through 12-week programs, right? I had addictions. I had addiction that we normalize, that is after work, you just go and hang out and have a couple of drinks with your friends, and it's okay, until it's not okay, right? Until you are unhealthy and in trouble with the law. And yeah, you just got to learn from that.
Well, plants are smart as shit. They know how to control their environment, and they know how to kill things. And they make all the addictive, harmful substances that kill and control humans. Plants are far smarter than we are. Pretty amazing, right?
I love it. And it's 100% true. And it goes back to your fasting, right? I tell people, if you're craving certain foods and you already know how to fast, let's incorporate that. So you just kill everything. It's how I explain it to them. You just kill that bacteria in your gut that is craving those things to your brain. Let's kill that, and then let's start again. All right. So, and again, it's walking people through that and understanding their feelings, right?
Someone would like to know what your shirt means.
Oh, can you read it?
People eating tasty animals.
So I had to wear that today.
Yeah.
I have a sticker too over here.
The new definition, it's like definition number 2 of PETA in the dictionary. That's funny.
We're here to invite everyone to the carnivore lifestyle. And there are only 5% or less carnivores in the world, when you consider all the other. But although I guess there are a lot of carnivore bugs out there too, so we have to hail them. And there are carnivore plants, so they're not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That only eat bugs or beasts, and they. But I mean, in essence, plants are in cahoots with the microbes in order to control their environment and create their environment. In essence.
One of the things that I love to do is my wife eats pot roast every week for dinner. She just meals preps. So she eats 12 ounces of bacon for lunch and like 8 ounces of whatever, pot roast or more for dinner. That's all she eats pretty much. And the leftover water thing where she cooks it, in the summer when I have my compost pile, I like to take it back there and just put it in my compost pile. And oh my gosh, it loves it. It loves it.
And when we eat a high plant, low fat diet, lots of lean meat, it's very fermentable, and the microbes are everywhere. And we're basically, feeding the microbes. in our gut, and which is not kind of good for us. Microbes make alcohol, and it's kind of we are addicted to life, basically. I mean, we're addicted to air, right? You got to breathe air, you got to eat food. You don't have.
Have you ever thought about we're just a bunch of microbes put together by skin, and then a brain that connects to the conscious? Have you ever put that together like that?
Well, all molecular structure has energetic function and has a mission for life. I mean, every atomic particle, right? There's an attraction and a repulsion to everything, right? And so, yeah, it's all these molecules that come together to actually propagate life, and the control of all of it, right? DNA, RNA, protein, post-translational modification. I mean, ultimately, it's the sun's energetic rays in order to create life.
I think that's going to be the next big field, energy work. Some kind of energy doctors are going to come up in the future. I feel like this is where we're going to be heading to, not only talking about like the physical energy, but all kinds of energy.
Well, you're right, but it's ancient. It's always there. That's what the biblical words are about. I mean, the Bible's and the spoken word or the thinking word is energetic. I mean, it's all energy. Vibrational energy is there, and yes, I think you're right. We're because of social media, we're able to share it in a way that nobody had access to it of any significance. The control has been the chains of control have been broken. Although I guess at some point someone controls our access to this media too, right? Mm-hmm. But we will not give it up. We will fight for it and continue on this journey because we don't mind dying for what's right. Don't mind it at all.
No, that's part of the strong-willed child. So I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
So when I explain it to my clients, when it comes down to losing fat, right? We have the intra-muscle fat and inter-muscle fat, right? The muscle inside the muscle, and then the fat inside the muscle, and then the fat outside the muscle. I told them we want to get rid of the fat inside the muscle. We need a little bit there, but that's kind of like if we get too much, it's going to become unhealthy. I don't know if we actually need some there or not, but when I look at my food and my steaks, then why are we eating that? It's just something that in the last few months I've been thinking about. It's why are we eating the marbly steak when we're telling humans that it's unhealthy for us? Because then in my head, that animal is stressed out. So it can be a little more marbly than us, but that animal is having the same reaction that we do in their meat. It's storing the fat there. So although fat is really good, the fat outside the muscle, I'm not too sure about the fat inside the muscle, but that's a question I have for you guys.
Dr. Nelson, or shall I take it?
Go ahead.
It's the same fat. You can tell me it's the same fat.
Nothing your body makes is unhealthy for you.
Okay.
Nothing. Your body fat is intramuscular, interosseous. It's organs, perinephric, and it's visceral, it's subcutaneous. I mean, fat is the most important organ system of the human body. Period. And many animals that they fatten up for hibernation, migration, gestation, they put it everywhere because nothing your body makes is harmful for you. It's the inflammation that happens from the plant and microbial toxins and our allergic reactions. We're allergic to the plant glycans, the plant sugars that cause the damage. We're allergic to the sugars that are in and on and made by plants and microbes, including bacteria, viruses, and other insects. But
Yeah, no,
you know,
I 100% agree with that. But that is where I'm going. It's like that animal then is having too much of that to the point
no,
that it's storing
no,
the fat that way.
no, there's no. So again, it all depends on the circumstances, environment. A polar bear or a polar bear that nests and gestates must have fat everywhere, because you're stowing it away as every place you can, as much as you can, until there's no more access to the food you need. So our body is only doing what it's meant to do: store food. The only food and fuel for the mitochondria is fat. An anorexic, bulimic, sarcopenic, cachectic human being is at risk of dropping dead fast. And so intramuscular, the fat, again, obesity is not the cause of disease. But in our world, it's a sign of disease, because you're not likely, unless you're Jerry doing a 40-day fast, or for some reason you somehow the food access is limited, right? Could happen, right? Because most of us are not hunting, gathering the food in a completely natural way. But there's no fat in your body that's harmful for you, in my opinion. And just do 2 weeks of carnivore.
Yeah,
2
well, yeah,
weeks
I
of-
don't think the fat itself is bad. I think why we get the fat is the problem, right?
No, again, eating raw fat is healthier than you can eat
Yeah,
protein.
yeah. But I'm saying, like, the reason why we store the extra fat, I don't think the extra fat in us is unhealthy. I think it's 100% energy, like you said. But the reason we start storing that way is because the body is stressed out based on eating too much of the other stuff.
No, it's not stressed out. Remember, why are we addicted to food, and why do we overeat? It's not pathologic, it's physiologic. We're driven to it because historically, for the last 50,000, 100,000 years, you did not have easy access to food, did you? Right? How many people in many parts of the world don't have easy access to food? So our brain is not thinking, wow, we're going to have food for the rest of the universe and we don't have to worry anymore. That's not true, because quite easily our food all becomes contaminated, or our food distribution becomes damaged, and we don't have access to food. And the skinny ones are going to die. And the fat ones are our reproductive community. So we're just, we're trying to sell people on a diet too, that you should do this and be like this, which is quite interesting, but it's just not, it's physiologically and biochemically not true. The fat in and on your body doesn't cause any disease. You're getting that way because we're overeating, because our brain thinks we're going to be a famine, but we're overeating foods that were meant to be just before winter.
Yeah, when I used to have my healthy smoothies with my coconut milk and my oats and my honey, and oh my God, 24 ounces of that daily.
Where would you get that in nature?
Never. No, it was no.
Right. And remember, people die.
So when we're not eating, if we're not eating our species-specific diet, then that is the consequence. We are overeating things that we're not meant to eat.
Right. Ruby Goats has a question.
Going to the supermarket, and most things that come in a box, a bag, or a can is not food that really we found in nature probably even 200 years ago, right? And before.
Yeah, it's like you guys say, like fasting and carnivore, I feel like it's like the baseline of this vessel that we have, because we don't even fit in this world. Well, the only animal that needs the brain to be able to eat, right? That we need to come up with a plan to hunt down something. we don't fit here as a species in the world. We just don't fit. So our baseline for this vessel, I think I agree with you guys. It's going to be a fasting carnivore thing, and then anything after that, for this vessel that we're in, it's good. I don't think it agrees.
That's right.
Go ahead with that question, Alia.
We go with Aaron. Is it true that it takes 3 days to digest red meat? Some crazy old lady told me that.
All wives' tales.
Have you ever seen meat in the toilet?
No.
Never.
Most people do have an intestinal transit that's 12 hours or less. Let's say 12 to 24 if you want. How can you prove that to yourself? Eat some corn and watch for it. It's going to come out within probably 12 hours, right? So if red meat took 3 days to digest, you would see chunks of ribeye steak coming out of your stools. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it's most of it is actually digested and absorbed before it hits the colon, because most digestion and absorption of nutrients happen from the stomach. Sometimes it starts, by the way, in your mouth with some absorption of some vitamins. But anyways, goes through the stomach and the small intestine, and it's pretty much gone. There's very little residue that's coming out.
I love having the poop conversation with my clients because they want to poop every day. And it's like, well, if you change your way of eating and you're eating this way, mostly, you're probably not going to poop every day once you have a system down. At the beginning, yeah, you're going to get a lot of things are going to be coming out, but you're just not going to poop every day. And being constipated and consistency is that what I try to explain to them, like the difference, right?
It will come out. You don't have to think of no other animal is like, oh boy, I gotta poop. Just shut the F up and just be patient. It will tell you when it's time. But when you don't eat fermentable foods and when you consume high fats, you suppress the microbes, which are not good for you. They are everywhere, but they're not your friends.
When you say fermented foods, Dr. Kiltz, I worked with a company this past semester that does fundraisers for grade schools, and I would go to the grade schools and spend 2 weeks with the kids, going into the classrooms, just teaching leadership, and what I throw, of course, my nutrition thing into that 100%. But it's like I was watching drunk little kids walking around. They do look drunk. It's ridiculous. It's a little scary, and I didn't know how bad it was until I'm not exposed. I don't have any kids, but with this job, I was exposed to hundreds, thousands of kids. It's a little scary that they look just like a walking drunk person.
Right.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Well, it's our governmental direction to consume 3 to 6 meals a day. Which again, it might be 3 meals and 3 snacks, grazing animals, which are fermenters, and we're not fermenters. And so that's why 1 meal a day or less. Lions don't eat 3 meals a day. They may eat a meal every few days, more or less. And that's who and what we really are. And when you recognize that our children, and it's our responsibility. I take full on responsibility. That's why we're here, because we want to emulate different ideas for our children. Again, our energy is the fat. Adipose tissue is our energy, period. You must have access to the fat. And when you add food, people don't realize they're still utilizing fat from their fat tissue to fuel the cells. The plant insulin and the liver are purely digestive. They don't function much in a fasted state. Now the liver is a fat storage device also. Fatty liver is not pathology, it's physiology. But because of hepatocyte damage, we're lowering the liver's capacity to convert sugar amino acids to fat. And thus plant sugars rise, proteins rise, and they must be converted to fat via insulin in the liver or you die. It's really stupidly simple.
Yeah, a few years ago, my dad got Hep C, and he was in the hospital. And the diet that we're giving him, it was I had to bring food for him. I had to just make everything and bring it in for him. And it's the own hospital I used to work at. He was there, and I had to bring my own food because it give the liver a break. And like Dr. Nelson, like you said, by leading by example, Dr. Kiltz said that if we know this, I feel like we are responsible to pass along this message somewhere, somehow sharing it. And it's like with my stories that I told you guys, they go so much deeper, but just the next one is going next, like living like Dr. Canberra, like I said, today we have an appointment to go on our next step to get land in Tennessee. So today we go to the bank and we're moving forward in that movement. My whole goal is to have a little farm school where I coach kids, adults, physically and nutrition wise, as most of my stuff I do online. So as I'm farming and have my online job, you have to lead by example. I put myself through school, showing up through the farms, putting in the work for free, not for free, for knowledge, in exchange for knowledge, doing all that stuff. And like you said, it's never too late. This is my next step, but going back into the system and then hitting it from inside, that is still a possibility right there. But as of right now, it's like Dr. Nelson said, lead by example. Say where you live, how you're gonna live, right? So if I want to do this, I'm not good on social media. I shared some stuff. I put it out there here and there, but just getting the animals, doing the work, the handwork. I think that's how my role plays here, and I love coaching. But it's, like I said, it's leading by example.
Practice, practice, practice. It's really participate, participate, participate. Show up. Raise your hand, front of the class, and be afraid and do it anyway.
Yes, 100%.
Giveaway.
Yeah, but I want to say thanks to Crazy Chicky and Susie Marsh for your super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Who's the winner today? I think it's Dr. Kiltz. He wins often. It's very funny. Oh, hi, Mike Selly. Please email me, alia@drkiltz.com, for another t-shirt. Congratulations. There we go. Oh, Grandma Nina has a quick question. How often is the CAC test recommended? My score was 54 last year.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
What do we measure?
There you go.
Worry.
And don't
Lots of worry.
don't.
Dr. Kiltz, question before we go. Here, Jerry's question. She's 25 days fasting, shooting for 40, and she's asking if I have not eaten in 25 days, what am I still processing?
Well, if you look at bear hibernation, the studies have been done. Bears that hibernate 6 months and gestate, create life, lose only adipose tissue. They lose no muscle mass and no bone mass. Fat is the building block and the fuel for every cell of your body, period. It contains every mineral, vitamin, micro and macronutrient to build a baby.
But what is she still processing?
Processing is adipocytes, fatty tissue. That's it. The fat contains sugars, glycans, protein, amino acids, and fatty acids, and cholesterol, and every mineral and vitamin your body needs.
The bears
That's why
when
we
they're
make.
hibernating.
What's that?
I think
The
she's
bears don't poop when they're
acting.
hibernating.
I think she's asking about the contents of her intestines at this point after 25 days.
Well, they're empty. They're technically empty of food being digested, but you know, just like you're not moving, your muscles are resting. They're not dead. They're purely alive. You're doing autophagy to fix the glycocalyx, the epithelial cells, the vessels and everything. But ultimately, you're sending a chylomicron is a glycolipoprotein made in the gut that delivers all of the minerals, vitamins, and building blocks of your body to every cell of your body. Very low density lipoproteins coming from the liver are prepared to ship to every cell of the body. That's how we get fat, mostly, because people don't eat fat, mostly. And then the adipocytes are shipping it right back to every cell of the body via the lymphatics. And so, once your fat stores are nearly depleted, it's over. You do not start using your muscle. You're already dead. We become atrophied because in that state, in general, your energy is being conserved for survival. So ultimately, what am I still processing? You're processing adipose tissue and sending it everywhere in opposite to actually getting it from your gut, which must be made into a similar structure or you will die. That's why type 1 diabetics die and liver failure patients die, because they cannot make fat. And if you think of the standard diet, it's fruit, fiber, vegetables, seeds, nuts, lean meat, and no animal fat. We eat a low-fat diet, not a high-fat diet. And when you cook things in oil, you're boiling them at a higher temperature, but you're not soaking them in fat.
Thank you very much.
To everyone.
To everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you guys.
Have
Thank
a
you for
great
listening.
day.
I'm not in Illinois.
It was nice meeting you guys finally.
Are you going to be
Awesome,
on
Tony.
Sunday, Dr. Kiltz?
What's that?
Are you going to be on Sunday?
I will be on Sunday. Most likely I'll be in Princeton, New Jersey, visiting Julio with the
Maybe
G.
you should just be on with the Sunday school people. Maybe that's when you should do your live stream, because you're scheduled with George and Stephanie. So maybe just do one
Oh,
live
what
That's
stream.
time
right,
am I on with George and Stephanie?
1 p.m.
One.
Yep, I'm on.
Yep.
I'm on.
Yep.
I'm just going to be in Princeton, and then Monday I'll be back traveling. So I'll be on Monday morning. I'll be on Sunday. So thank you for reminding about George. You guys keep me reminded,
I
because
will
my
keep you
brain
reminded.
wanders. When are you moving to Tennessee?
Say that again.
When are you moving to Tennessee, Tony?
2027, spring of 2027 is the move date.
Awesome.
If
Do you have
everything's
land?
gonna go well.
Do you have
Sorry?
the land? Do you have the land?
In March, we have a list of properties we're gonna go see this coming March. So financially, just getting everything ready before March, and that we're pretty much ready to start looking at properties. And
Nice.
again, lead by example.
Before we go, where can we find you if someone wants to
So
talk to you, follow you?
My nutrition website is frontlinevitality.org, and you can find some of my results there, a little bit of my story right there, and what I offer to people. And then on social media, and Instagram, I'm Tony_the nutrition guy, and also Frontline Vitality.
Cool.
Awesome.
Have a
All
nice
right,
weekend,
everybody.
everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Have a great